Hi guys, and welcome to 32 Teams, where I review all 32 teams in the NHL after the 2022-23 season. This series will consist of an overview of the regular season, postseason, player stats, team stats, and my overall opinion about the team. We will start in the Western Conference and then move on to the Eastern Conference. Today, we review the Seattle Kraken. Let's get started. The NHL franchise's second season was the 2022-23 Seattle Kraken campaign. The Climate Pledge Arena served as their home ice. The Kraken made NHL history in January 2023 when they became the first team to sweep a road trip's 7 games. On April 6th, the Kraken defeated the Arizona Coyotes to clinch a playoff position for the first time in the team's existence. On April 30th, the Kraken defeated the reigning champion Colorado Avalanche by winning their first ever playoff series in 7 games. The Dallas Stars defeated the Kraken in the second round in 7 games, one of the greatest and most improved second-year expansion teams in NHL history. The Kraken finished the 2022-23 regular season. Seattle's 46 victories and 100 points were more than any other second-year expansion team. Seattle's increase from 2021 to 2022 to 2022 to 2023 was one of the biggest year-over-year gains in the NHL from previous season to this season, breaking records for an explanation team. The Kraken finished the 2022-23 regular season with the 12th best record in the league, moving up 18 positions in the ranking after concluding their initial season with the third worst record in the NHL standings. Now let's talk about the regular season. The Kraken started their season with a OT loss against the Anaheim Ducks. Not the greatest first game, but they went 4-4-2 in their first 10 games, which isn't too bad. But they changed and started to win more games. They had a great winning streak between November 17th and December 1st. It was very good, and they won 7 games in a row. They ended the 2022 year with an 18-12-4 record, pretty good, a better start than they had last year, which was their debut season. But they had an even better start for 2023. They won 8 games straight between January 1st to January 14th, and they just kept winning. They defeated big teams such as the Devils, Avalanche, and Boston, and they played their last game against Vegas, which was a loss, but it didn't matter. They ended the season with a 46, 28, and 8 record, or 100 points, clinching the first place spot in the wild card. The Kraken has such an amazing improvement. Last season they had 60 points, and this season they had 100, which was a 40-point difference and a 19-win improvement, meaning they had the greatest improvement from year one to year two for an explanation team. This season was one for the Bucks for Seattle, and a season for fans to remember. They completely shocked everyone that they managed to get 100 points, and even to clinch the playoffs. Fans should be proud. The Kraken is playing against the Stanley Cup champs Colorado Avalanche in the first round. The Kraken were the underdogs since the Avalanche were first in their division and they won the cup last year. In game 1, they won 3-1. It was a good start for them, and they needed to win the next game in order to continue this lead. But unfortunately, in game 2, they lost 3-2, and then lost game 3 6-4. Now they're down 2-1 in the series, but the Kraken knew they weren't finished. The Kraken won games 4 and 5 3-2, giving them one more win away to advance to the conference semifinals at home. But it did not happen. The Avalanche were able to win it to force Game 7 at Colorado. Colorado had a home ice advantage, and the Kraken knew it was going to be tough, but they did it. They won Game 7, 2-1, advancing to the conference semifinals. The Kraken is to play against the Dallas Stars, a great team that just beat the Wild. The Kraken were able to win Game 1, Dallas won Game 2, making it an even 1-1. In Game 3, the Kraken demolished Dallas 7-2, but one game doesn't count for more games. Dallas were able to win Game 4 and 5, giving Dallas a 3-2 lead, one all the way to the conference finals. But the Kraken said no and forced Game 7 by winning 6-3 in Game 6. This was it, another Game 7. Kraken was exhausted from playing 7 games against Avalanche and now 7 games against Dallas. The Kraken played their heart out. It was close, but not close enough. Dallas won Game 7, 2-1, meaning the Kraken's season is over. Fans should be happy they go far on being last season's Stanley Cup champs. The Kraken's run was great, but it had to come to an end. Let's move on to the player stats. The point leader for the Kraken was Jared McCann with 70 points. It was a good season for him and had his career high season in points, goals, and assists. Next in line is Vince Dunn, another great season for him with 64 points. He was a great offensive defenseman and had a career high of almost everything this season. There are more good players that had a lot of points, such as Jordan Eberle, sorry if I said his name wrong, Matty Bernier, and Yanni Gorde. Now, usually, if I see that point leader for a team does not have that many points for a point leader, I usually point that out, and I'm pointing out right now. But looking at the stats, I know why it's lower. The diversity of points is the reason. There are 18 players have over 20 points. And by the way, the Kraken are a wildcard team. They were extremely diverse, which is good because they gave all the players a chance of getting a point, meaning chemistry is great. Their offense this year was good and had one of the highest goals for, which makes sense. For the goalies, let's scroll down for the goalies. Philip Grobner and Martin Jones. Uh, the stats were not too bad, but I expected more. Grobner, who played with the Avalanche last year, won the cup with them and had a great season. But it was different with the Kraken. He had a .895 save percentage, which is ideal, and a 2.85 goals allowed, which is not too bad. Martin Jones was also similar, but had more wins. I believe the goalies need to be a bit better, but they are not so bad. Overall, the players were great, and the chemistry between them is pretty good. Now let's look at the face-off win percentage. So now Seattle are almost dead last, which is not good. 45% chance of winning face-off. Not great. Shots against per game. I believe Seattle is pretty good at this. Uh, yeah, almost last was good. 27 shots a game from another team. That's really good. Shots per game. The Kraken are almost mid-table. 30 shots. Right, that's not too bad. Penalty kill. The Seattle Kraken, where are they? Then just saw them. Yep, 21st. Not too bad. Ideal. 77%. Not too bad. The power play. Seattle. 20%. Not, like, again, not that bad. They're a wild card team. They're supposed to be mid table. Goals allowed. They should be low because shots against is pretty low. I mean, they're mid table. 3 goals a game. Not too bad, really. Goals for, like I mentioned, 3.52, around the 4 goals a game, not too bad. And goals for is probably their best stat. Where are they? They are currently, where are they? Wrong stat, my bad. Fourth, 289, which is really good, very high for Seattle, and they're a wild card team over the Devils, Panthers, Lightning, all those great teams. They're over them, and goals for easily the best stat. Hit 100 points. They're in the playoffs, and this was a really good season for them. Hope you guys enjoy this video. This is, I think, one video that's in the longer end. I took a lot of time doing this video, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Seattle, great team. We're moving on. I'm not sure who's starting in the Pacific Division. I gotta check that out, but that's probably my next video. And yeah, hope you have a great day. Stay safe, and yeah, have a good one. See ya. Now, what's my overall opinion about this team? The Kraken had a surprising season that no one expected. They made the playoffs, broke records with the largest point improvement and win improvement from year one to year two for an explanation team. I wouldn't be surprised if they were to come back in the playoffs. I believe they have a coach that is great and can do great with his players. The players are good and also have great chemistry, and this team is in a good spot. The 2022-23 season for Seattle was one for the books and a season for fans to remember.